You know the old saying in some fans' view, or as not fans, readers' view, that there's a limit to how much one can forgive, and there's a limit how much one can be, well, understanding. In a way, I would say yes and no, but at the same time, that just defies the character more because he is not gonna be just a guy who was always like that. He is going to be a guy that understands them. It doesn't mean they'll crimes will be forgiven, but it will be that at least someone understands them, and that is actually a skill that doesn't really exist in the real world. Again, there's a limit on how much one can forgive. But the biggest question comes when we know it. This is me, the Angry Anime Fan, and this is the late review of Eden Zero, chapter 230. And in this one, Poseidon Nero is finally defeated, as well as having a new overdrive form from Shiki, which is actually a pretty cool one. Or is that a form of ether? I don't know. Either way, sisters defeated Klein and Jin, and they actually have remembered everything now. And she actually lectures them that it took so long for them to remember, so she didn't hold back. But Jin clarifies that they remembered a long time ago, but she still didn't hold back about them. But Sister just justifies it that their healing can do it. Um, she can heal them. But she just says she was getting the spirit. Either way, they are reunited as Moscow suddenly contacts Sister. And here is actually something I thought was pretty surprising. When Sister told everyone that she had duplicated Moscow and sent the real one away, I all but assumed that all of these Moscows are copies, therefore they are irrelevant. But it actually turns out that when the Moscow interacted with Homura, his memories came back, implying that all of these Moscows, despite being copies of the original Moscows, shares the connection to the real world. Because now he contacts everyone else and tells them of Homura being there. But she says that she doesn't remember anything. Is she hiding the truth? Because as we know, Homer is a girl suffering deep from depression, both in the previous world and in now. She has felt like too much death is in her world. So is it very possible that she actually can't remember because she doesn't want to remember? Because she doesn't feel like she's worthy? Or is she hiding the truth? Or is there just someone else that has to trigger it? I don't really know. Either way, in back to Shiki and Nero's fight is the fact that with Shiki's body hasn't adapted to his evil power, he cannot unleash the true power. And Nero reveals in this world where, the reason why we think that Shiki has the power of the wormhole is because he got back the memories of the previous world. But Nero theorized that once upon a time he actually did meet Siggy in this universe as well. And perhaps the wormhole fell into his power before, although we don't really know. Either way, Nero throws the dice, sees a new thing, throws off his coat and decides to become a little bit more serious as they clash as he uses his own wormhole ability. And he says that Shiki needs to overdrive if he wants to unleash his true power. But Shiki says that he can't use his overdrive to make up for his true power. It's not the same. But then Nero says that you lack understanding of the ether. To overdrive is to reach ether's critical point. It rearranges and optimizes even the molecules of your body. Which is how their bodies change. So he says, bring forth your true power, the one true form of overdrive. As Shiki being swept away, he tries to form it, but then he begins to think back. What is an ether optimizing? A form that matches the ether as he is now. And so he changes the ether into a new overdrive, into an overdrive form that is actually pretty surprising. Yes, he changes his overdrive form into Siggy. And I mean, yes, it's worth Shiki and Siggy are technically the same beings, just from different realities. So in the way, and this is Universe Zero. The Universe Zero was Siggy was supposed to find everything, so it only makes sense for Shiki to merge the connection of Ziggy into himself, and so he becomes a overdrive form that is Siggy, which is actually pretty cool looking. But it's it is a neat concept, so to speak. Siggy's will live on in Shiki because they are both the same and yet different. Now they will become one, and with that ability, he actually manages to defeat Nero, who reveals that in his dice he may have actually seen something that could do more, revealing that the only one that can stop Shura is Shiki, apparently implying that he saw the dice and realized he has to teach Shiki how to truly utilize the ether. And he also reveals Ashura as a tyrant, implying that yes, even in this universe, Shura is scum. But then Drakenjo appears, and Shiki remembers the other universes as well, including the time when he died in Universe 1, and as well as the time when Shura asked him to be his friend in Universe 2. So it's and he realized what he had to do in this world. I'm gonna make and his wife is gonna make him and Draken his friends, which of course both stunned Pino and Draken. So well, it's a little bit. Oh come on, I have to admit, because well, Draken and Shura are supposed to be irredeemable. But again, this goes in line with Shiki, not because of his character or saying like his friends' gag movements. I'm not saying that. It goes in line with his character because he's implying to be the guy that will forgive and showing there is a different path to everything. Because in the end, you have to realize that Shura became a tyrant only because, well, he didn't really feel love. Yes, that doesn't justify his actions, but it also shows that when someone doesn't can find love, they always become twisted. And Draken became twisted because of his desire to become immortal, and because of that also couldn't wanted to find friends, but in the end forgot it. So both of them forgot where they really came from, and because of that, they twisted into horrible beings. Shiki wanna look past that and see to find more of it all. Next chapter is called Recruitment of a Hope, after all. Still, it is. I have to admit, I don't really want to see that. But the new overdrive form of Shiki, yeah, good. But that implies that the gang had to, well, adapt their ether to a new form. Wonder how they're gonna do that. And well, now finally Jin and Klein has their memories back, but the biggest problem now is Homura. Why can't she remember? Or is it possible that she remembers, just refuses to say? Give me your false reality.